Recording is on.
Hello and welcome to the DXgov governance discussion of the 23rd of March. Very special governance discussion today, as this week marks the 1-year anniversary of Melanie at DXgov. So congratulations, Melanie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very excited to still have you here with us. And then moving on to proposals, we can jump right in. On mainnet, we have a couple of proposals live, which is always nice. The first one is we have an extension of the buyback program. So this was an extension of a further $1 million US, which is now slightly higher given the rising price of Ether over the past days. But this is proposals set to pass in 3 days. So this will move the 385 Ether to our relayer, which will relay the funds to our multisig, from which we can bridge the funds to Gnosis chain directly into the buyback relayer. A lot of relayers involved there. Then we have 2 more proposals, which are actually to fund the Gnosis chain base. So even though we had a large amount of funds in Gnosis chain for quite some time, a large amount of those was actually to LP on swappers. So those funds have now been moved. And so we're just doing a little refresh here. The reason there are 2 separate proposals is due to the fact that we need a relayer to send ETH. So if you look at the ETH transaction, this one goes to the ETH relayer, while the DAI is sent directly to the multisig account. And these will just be bridged over to Gnosis chain. Also, one thing to note, this is the first time we're actually sending DAI from our reserves instead of ETH, somewhat motivated by the lackluster price of Ether when this proposal was submitted. But Ether is recovering now, but proposal is good to go and passing in 3.5 days, both of them. So we'll have them going through. Then a pre-boosted proposal here is actually to update the swapper.eth content hash to beta 11.1, which from my understanding adds the cow token to the default list of Swapper. Anyone confirm if that's correct or not, or anything else to add?
I know it at least does that, and Vinky and Adam are working on this too. So I think it's just the token list, but there will be another release for Swapper, I think, coming soon also.
Wonderful. And that's already all we have on mainnet. So, a few proposals, but
just
still...
while we're on mainnet, nothing that
Let's
you need to wait on there, but it is a nice experience for those who have not done as many transactions on mainnet. The 16 to 25 gas prices that are there are very nice. So I think it's a good opportunity for some people to do some rep syncs. I won't name any names, but maybe some people that are celebrating their 1-year DXgov anniversary, or maybe someone who's an excellent Discord person, or someone who is, I'm trying to think of who else is an excellent DXgov contributor. I think these are all great opportunities to sync your mainnet rep.
Well, maybe not right now, but in general, yes.
Not yet.
Well, but yeah, no, I think that totally makes sense. Also because a lot of people have been earning rep on Gnosis chain, right, which has never been synced to mainnet, and we base the percentage of the rep on mainnet. So we're actually, in a way, all learning less rep because the large amount is not synced, right? So it's great for a number of reasons to just get the rep synced up.
And I had a 2022 resolution to get DXgov rep to 2 million. So we're 1.76 million now. So hopefully we can get that growth over the next 6 months and kind of continue to get to the doubling of the original rep amount, maybe before the 3-year anniversary. Probably not, though.
So let's not disappoint Chris and sync our rep. Awesome. Well, moving over to Gnosis chain, we have a few proposals live. So we have buybacks while it's loading, we have buybacks, I believe 159 through 162 live. So 159, I believe, just passed. Then we have some expenses for Alchemy API usage here, 300 DAI for reimbursements for that. We have a number of worker proposals and expenses still. So we have Augusto's reimbursement for ETH Denver here. Then we have a number of worker proposals, namely Milan, Lucifos, Medusha, Caney Fork, Levotiat, I never know how to pronounce that, twice, and Smoot's worker proposal. And interestingly, we also have Tammy's vested DXD. So due to the fact that we have not been deploying the DXD contracts yet, she's requesting her DXD through this method here, and is also going to deploy a contract for the outstanding DXD that she'll still be receiving over the time. And one other interesting proposal is actually the provisioning of liquidity here. So this is finally, after our testing of the swapper relayer, we've moved forward and provisioned some liquidity to the WEF XDAI pair. In fact, the first proposal already passed 2 days ago, which went through successfully. So we LP'd roughly 390 wrapped XDAI and 132 WEF on the wrapped XDAI WEF pair. And we still have a significant amount of funds to go into the LP pool. If we take a look at the relayer, we should have around 710,000 XDAI left, as well as 291 WEF. And due to the rising price of Ether, we'll probably have a small amount of WEF still left over at the end of this process. So we'll just be able to withdraw them and send them back to the treasury. And so this is the second proposal. And then we'll likely have a third one to just put in whatever balance remains at that point. And then, we have the couple of buybacks live. We are approving swapper farming campaign for the cow WEF pair. And that's pretty much all we have on Gnosis chain. Arbitrum as well is doesn't have any live proposals at the moment. So
can you just go into that, the swapper, the cow? It actually should be the bottom. I think this was submitted actually after, just in the last hour. Yeah. So I think everyone should be aware of this. There's been lots and lots of cow talk around these parts the last few days. So this is the approval of the campaign for the swapper farming campaign for the cow WEF pair. I think this is a pretty cool campaign, first and foremost, just because of the number of tokens involved, right? We've got swapper, GNO, cow, and then also a cow carrot. And it's also a really great opportunity for swapper because this is a new token that will be liquid, and hopefully one of the best places to buy it will be on swapper. And I think when you look at how much volume is generated on decentralized exchanges outside of the very large blue chip tokens, it's in these new tokens in those early days when you get a lot of price discovery, or best places to trade it, I should say, and buy and sell. It's an exchange. But anyway, so this is a proposal that lays out this plan. Now, because cow is not liquid at the moment, that's actually dependent on a CowDAO proposal that will pass, I think, on Monday of next week. Because it's not liquid, we don't have, we can't create the carrots yet. So this proposal is meant to lay out the plan that will then be executed by the multi-sig on Monday once cow becomes liquid, mostly because it's a very important part of to get that liquidity program there at the beginning. Just change it to dxvote.eth.link, Sky, because it's the same URL after that. It's the easiest way to go from Alchemy to DXvote is using the proposal ID.
Yeah, I've actually started just posting the proposal ID in some proposals I do, because then whatever, and it would actually be cool to have like a website where you can just paste the proposal ID and it'll automatically recognize if it's on mainnet on XDAI and redirect you to the right side.
So we have that data in the, or at least I've done that data in that proposal taxonomy, because I guess there is a world where you could have the same proposal ID on different chains, but like for the most part, those are going to be like unique, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much impossible.
Yeah, probably.
It could happen, but pretty much impossible. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so actually the last thing I want to say on this is, so we can wait until this boost. You can see it'll boost in 22 hours, but this would be like a really cool proposal to get lots of people to vote on, to kind of convey the interest of DXDAO in the cow ecosystem. There's been, so there's a lot of kind of close relationship with the cow ecosystem that have kind of predated this, and I think showing some support will be important. As Wayne said before the call, there will be a article that goes with this that will kind of reference this proposal, and presumably the proposal will be referenced in general. So it's always really good to get good participation. And so, yeah, vote for this. And of course, on the good participation, we did just get the 50% votes for the Hundo campaign. So we know we can get a lot of votes for those.
Absolutely. Augusto and Ross are going to be updating stuff today, so stay tuned as well for DXvote.
Yeah, we've been quite behind on like getting hashes done, and then doing the ENS releases. So DXvote, as well as the cache on DXvote, as well as the remote cache, is actually quite out of date. So we'll be fixing that today.
Or just be like me.
A lot easier to share. Or you just need to develop, of course. Develop is always going to be the most up to date, but it might have bugs.
Or just remember the hash and find proposals this way.
Yeah, we fixed a lot of bugs that we found in mainnet after we did the cache refactor and update. So now we are going to do a new release that is going to include a lot of bug fixes, and hopefully we should have a more stable and less buggy version on master, which is DXgov.eth. You can important thing, you can enter the same code that is on DXgov.eth on the link DXgov.dev. DXgov.dev holds a build of DXgov from the master branch, and develop.dxgov.dev holds everything that is on the develop branch, and DXgov.eth holds the latest release. So if we are going to have the same thing that we have on DXgov.dev on DXgov.eth today, but this is the main difference. So you either use DXgov.eth or DXgov.dev.
And I always recommend a .limo if you're feeling a little rebellious.
Wonderful. Anyone else has anything they want to chat about? Well, if not, I think we could also cut the recording and finish a bit early today.